Hello, my name is Diane and I'm with Soothing Frequencies. One of the modalities that we offer is energy work, and I want to introduce you to one of the major flows that's really important. I've used it every day for decades, and it's called the Main Central. So there are three flows that combined together are called the trinity flows. And those flows have to do with the energy that comes into you and comes down the front of your body, wraps around, comes up the back, and then it separates into the right and left sides, down the front, up the back, and then it starts to have this diagonal mediation that goes on. And so those three are called the trinity flows. The one that goes down the front and up the back in the center of the body is called Main Central. The one that goes on either side, there's the right supervisor that's managing the right side of your body, the energy that flows, and the other one is the left side of your body, the left supervisor. And then when it comes around and it crosses over, that's the diagonal mediators. There's a right side diagonal meter and a left side. And so those help when you have energy that is not balanced on both sides of the body. And so it helps balance them. It's kind of like if you have, two rivers that are flowing and one has an issue, and now you have these crossing streams, and the streams can come in and help offload something and bring more balance to everything. So to me, energy is like rivers in the body. And we don't want the rivers to get jammed up with junk. We want them free-flowing, always being fresh. If they get jammed up, they get stagnant, and then they start to putrefy, and they cause issues, and they'll do the same thing with your body. So anyway, I wanted to start today with introducing you to the Main Central. And this is not the Main Central that a therapist like myself would do for you, because for that they would work a lot down the spine. And you can't reach those areas yourself. So someone would do that for you on a massage table. I know someone who does that as their main practice. They just do Main Centrals for everybody. But here, I want to teach you how you can do a self-help for the Main Central. So there's a short version and a long version. I personally like the long version, but imagine this, that the energy is coming in through the top of your head, and it comes down the front. So that means we're going to be touching on what we call sacred energy locks down the front. It wraps up and goes around the back, okay? So that's Main Central. In that flow, there's only one flow. There's no right or left because it's the center. So you're going to take your right hand, you're going to put it on the top of your head. So on the top of your head is the point where you have four pieces of your skull that come together. The two here, the two in the back, and in the center, they all meet. So you put your fingers of your right hand on that point in the center. And then the first step in the flow is to take your left hand and you put it where your pineal gland is. Some people call it the third eye. It's because it's such an important place for your endocrine system. And so anyway, I like to do this one laying down. My favorite way is when I wake up in the morning. I'm not like a quick riser, I could be, but I like to just lay there for a minute and connect with my body before I start my day. So this is the first position, and I'm going to show you what it's like if you're laying down. So you can, use pillows if you need to prop up your shoulders. And I hope you can hear me from the side. But as with all the flows, you want to use a touch that's light, where if a piece of paper was underneath your fingers, the paper would remain, such as right here, the paper would remain. But if somebody wanted to pull the paper out, it would easily be removed. It gives you enough that you can feel the pulses, feel the energy that's flowing there. So let's just do that now. Take some deep but relaxing breaths. No straining, just... Now, here's the other thing. Belly breathing is very huge. And breathing is how energy moves in your body. It's one of the many ways. I could talk on that for a while. So you're going to breathe in and your belly is going to rise, and then you'll breathe out and your belly will sink down. So when you have full breaths, that belly rises, and then after that it starts filling up the chest. And then when you exhale, then the belly goes back down. And that's belly breathing. But it doesn't ignore the chest. It's just that so many people breathe from the chest. And that kind of breathing causes issues that I can talk to you about in another video. So anyway, back to where our hands were. We're just laying here, and let's just enjoy this. You can hold it for 2 to 3 minutes or longer if you like, if you're working on yourself. So just breathe and feel those pulses under your fingers. We're going to go to the second position, and I'll talk a little bit more about what we're doing while we're just relaxing. The second position is optional. I like doing it. It's putting your hand, so your right hand is on the top of your head, and it's going to stay there for almost the whole sequence of the flow. Your left hand is going to be moving down the front, and it will only be going down the front. So the second optional one is to put your fingers on the tip of your nose. I wish you could see my room. It looks like heavens above, and then I have grass on the ground as earth below. It's a heaven to earth pathway. Anyway, as we go to the nose, you want to feel the pulses underneath both of your fingertips, both sets of fingertips. And it might not come initially, but the more you do it, the more your body can feel what's going on. The first phase of learning is awareness. And then once you get awareness, then it's, you become aware of what your body is speaking. And your hands will help tune the different parts of your body. They're like jumper cables. Let's go to the next one. This one's also optional. It's taking your index finger, putting it above your lips, and then putting the next 2 fingers below your lips. An optional one. It's kind of hard to talk that way. I should have brought a pillow so I could support my arm right here. Because you want to be relaxed. You don't want to, be going, oh my gosh, my arm's getting tired. No, you don't want that. So let's take the next step. So the next one is a very important one. When you put your fingertips right at that place on your neck, where there's that little dip. So as I'm leaning over, it looks really exaggerated, but you can put your hands there. So this is a really good one to do. So again, each of your fingers are sensing what's going on. So there's something called safety energy locks in your body. There's 26 on the right side and 26 on the left side. And they were designed for your body to be communicators to you when something is experiencing an imbalance. And when you're aware, then you can start addressing things before they get serious. Anytime the flows in your body are stagnant or stuck, your body wants to let you know so that you can do something about it. And if you don't do something about it, then it will continue to be an issue. And it could cause some symptoms to start showing eventually, and then if the symptoms aren't addressed, then it just keeps progressing in the wrong direction. You don't want that. You want to become aware. And I've heard them say that it's more expensive to restore your health than it is to keep your health. The same thing goes with energy work. It's easier to keep your energy rivers flowing in your body than it is to try and fix something that's gotten jammed up. Imagine this. So you have what I liken to streams of energy in the body. Like I said, down the middle, the right and left side, the mediations. After that, it goes through all the different organs. It goes through different depths. It doesn't just stay in your body, it also returns out. And there's many different aspects of it. And science is learning more and more about it, and I could talk more about that in another video. So let's move to the next place. So this was on the chest. This is really important. So it's better to have your fingers like a finger width apart. And then you just take those fingers and then you put them on the chest, starting at the beginning, which means that it'll take 2 steps to cover your chest. But it helps that energy, to make sure it's all flowing. Check in. Can you feel the energy? I know that sometimes, especially if you're not used to, working on yourself or meditating, which by the way, meditating is an extremely valuable practice. It's gaining more and more popularity and more science to back it up. But it reminds me of this little song I used to sing when I was younger. Because I got into this work for a reason, most of the time you get a passion for something because you had a challenge in that area. You learn to overcome it, and then you want to share it with others. And that's how it was for me. And this is the song. Slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the moment last. Kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Groovy, yeah, that's pretty old. Anyway, I just thought I'd share it. Let's move our hands to the next position now. So they were here, so now you just go to the next. You should find that your little pinky is right at the bottom of your rib cage. And as I've mentioned in another video, it's okay if your fingers aren't exactly there. That energy flows through your fingers, and your body knows what's going on, even if you're not aware of it. Your body is. Energy is extremely fascinating, all the different ways that it flows and how we're all interconnected by energy. That's another video to be coming. So you can hold these poses for like 2 to 3 minutes, but if you have less time, you can go through them quicker. If you have more time and you know that this is something that's really important for you, you can take your time, because it's your body knows what your intention is. So let's go to the next one. The next one is you take your fingertips and you put it right there at your diaphragm. hope you're doing this with me. To just know what the sequence is without even doing it. You won't retain it. You won't get the benefit from it. And if you'd like to hear, if you'd like me to walk you through this, and keep it to like 2 or 3 minutes, let me know. Just comment below the video. I'll be glad to do it for you. Okay, let's go to the next one. This one's optional. I normally don't do it for long, but you can put it right there where your a transverse colon is. And we're almost done. We have 2 more steps. So now your hands are going to go right there at the top of the pelvic bone. You should be able to feel that bone. So as you can see, we're basically, you know, like if you have jumper cables on a car, we're connecting 2 points and we're basically sending a message to the body. I want these 2 points to flow in agreement. And as you're working your way down and you're sending that message, all those points should be like, yes, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And they're like tuning forks. So I have another modality using tuning forks that's really awesome. And you can even do that one remote, but tuning forks, when you activate the tuning forks, they are coherent. They send coherent signals out, and they pick up when things are incoherent. Just like with the body, your fingers are picking up the energy flow that's going on in your body. And when you put your hands on there, it's saying, I want them to be coherent, in agreement. When the body is in coherence, it sends a message to the other parts, hey, we can get on this beat. Imagine, I'm a musical person, I like to do sound baths and all things music. And so imagine if you were to go listen to, say, an orchestra or a band before they start, everyone's tuning up their instruments. They're all doing their own thing, they're not in rhythm, you know, it's just like a cacophony of sounds. It could be very disturbing if you don't like that. Some people are very impacted by sounds, and sound is it's huge for healing, it's huge for trauma. I mean, it can be good or bad. And so, when the body realizes that there is a consistent beat, say between the heart and the brain, for heart-brain coherence, or, you know, the right and the left hand where you're holding on to these pulses, then it sends a message to the rest of the brain, you know, kind of like a band member saying, hey, we've got a beat that we can all align with. Let's do that. And the body does it. And it is amazing how the body wants to be in rhythm, wants to be in agreement. And so this is just one of those ways that it manifests. So notice in this is the second to the last step. We've got one hand on the top of our head and the other one at the bottom of our torso. We're basically saying, hey, we want to be in agreement. Now that energy went down the front, and now it's going to flow around to the back. So we're taking our hand from the top of our head, that right hand, and now you're going to put it on the coccyx. Okay, so the spine comes all the way down, and there's this little bone at the very end that has a little curve. That's where you want to put it. So you're not going to be able to feel the coccyx when you put your hand on there, but you'll know that it's going to be below anything that you can feel. And it's a little bit lower than where you have your other hand. And so in this one, I normally kind of tilt to the side because it's kind of hard to have your hand, when you're laying down or sitting down. If you're standing, you can do it. And you could, choose to just get up at the end of it. But this is what I normally do, because in the morning I will do my main central, and then after that I'll do my left and right supervisors, and then I'll do my diagonal mediator. And then I'll probably do my movers, to just get my body moving or give myself a cosmic hug. All of those I plan to share with you in a separate video. So this is just introducing you to Main Central. This is our last step. So let's just take a few moments and feel the pulses between the two sets of fingers. This energy is moving the energy around from the front and to help it go up the back. For me, this particular position, I am feeling stronger pulses. My rhythms are beating together, in rhythm together, but they are beating stronger than they were in the other areas of this particular flow. That's letting me know that, did I mention in this video, I was sitting too much. So that was an intro to Main Central. Now, it wasn't perfectly timed to every 2 to 3 minutes. Like I said, I'd love to give that to you if you'd like it. So just comment on the video below the video, and let me know. And in the meantime, if you'd like to know more about what I have to offer at Soothing Frequencies, you can check out my website at https://soothingfrequencies.com. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a great day.